We have been dragged through the mud with this entire Cassius Phazon and Jen Sidwell storyline. And if my theory about what is coming next is true, it is going to be the most outrageous writing and heart wrenching betrayal we have ever seen. Am I the only one losing my mind over this? We have watched this show for decades, and the way they are twisting this narrative is pushing me to the absolute edge. Let us look at the facts, ladies. Jen Sidwell is currently backed into a corner. He has lured Sonny Corinthos into a deadly trap at Ava Jerome's gallery. He is holding ADA Justine Turner at gunpoint. He is completely surrounded, and his grand revenge plot is falling apart at the seams. Sonny just dropped the absolute bombshell on him that Ross Cullum is the one who killed Marco Rios. Sidwell is panicking. He is desperate. And when a rat like Sidwell is trapped in a corner with absolutely no way out, what does he do? He plays his trump card. He is not going to just surrender and spend the rest of his miserable life behind bars. Oh no, he is going to negotiate. He is going to use the most twisted, sickening leverage imaginable to save his own skin. Let us go back to the art gallery where this massive standoff is happening. Jens Sidwell has ADA, Justine Turner held at gunpoint. Sonny Corinthos is standing there, staring down the barrel of a gun, knowing that Sidwell is a desperate, cornered animal. Justine is terrified, but she is a smart, resilient woman. She might try to turn the tables, but Sidwell is unhinged. When Sonny tells him that Cullum killed Marco Rios, Sidwell's entire alliance crumbles. He realizes Cullum betrayed him. He realizes he has no friends left. That is the exact moment his mind will snap, and he will scream out, "You think you have won, Corinthos? I hold the key to the greatest ghost in Port Charles. I have a prisoner." The look on Sonny's face will be absolute, pure, cinematic gold. Sonny will drop his weapon because he knows he cannot risk the life of a good cop, but also because he needs to hear what this madman has to say. I have been thinking about this all night, tossing and turning, and it suddenly hit me like a freight train. Sidwell is going to offer a deal. He is going to look the authorities dead in the eye and tell them that he has a secret prisoner. A prisoner that everyone in Port Charles believes has been dead and buried for over 8 years. He will demand full immunity, a safe passage out of town, and absolute freedom in exchange for the life of this captive. And who is this mysterious prisoner? Brace yourselves, ladies, because my heart can barely take the thought of it. The prisoner is the real Nathan West. Nathan is alive. Yes, you heard me right. I am fully convinced that Nathan West did not die all those years ago. His death was a perfectly orchestrated illusion, a flawless kidnapping covered up by the absolute monsters that are Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell. They have been holding our precious Nathan hostage in some dark, miserable hole for 8 long years. Think about the sheer disrespect to the fans if this is true. We mourned him. We cried our eyes out watching his funeral. We watched his loved ones shatter into a million pieces, and all this time, he has been locked away, suffering, while these villains played God with his life. It makes my blood boil just thinking about the absolute agony he must have endured. Let us take a step back and look at Ross Cullum's reign of terror at Windermere. Cullum has been running around Spoon Island like a madman, cornering Carly Spencer, attacking her, and leaving her fighting for her life on the floor. He has been holding Jocelyn Jackson Liesel Obrecht hostage, terrified that his Grandmaster plan is going to be exposed. We all thought his ultimate goal was just stealing the cold fusion technology to sell to the highest bidder. But what if there is a much darker, much more sinister reason he needs that money and power? What if the cold fusion project was just a means to fund his massive global criminal enterprise, an enterprise that includes maintaining top secret, off-the-grid prisons where people like Nathan West are kept hidden from the world? Think about Liesel Obrecht and Jocelyn Jax being held captive in those Windermere tunnels. Liesel is a brilliant, cunning woman. She announced that she finished Cesar Phazon's final project, which made Jocelyn furious. But what if Liesel stumbled upon a clue while she was digging through those files and cutting those wires? What if she found a hidden manifest, a secret ledger belonging to Cullum that listed prisoner NW? If Liesel realizes that her beloved nephew Nathan is still alive, She is going to unleash a fury on Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell that will make the devil himself tremble in fear. Liesel would tear the world apart with her bare hands to get Nathan back. Now, if Nathan is truly alive and being held captive by Cullum and Sidwell, it completely changes everything we know about Cassius Faison. We have all been screaming at our televisions, calling Cassius a fraud, a liar, an imposter who violated Lulu Spencer and manipulated everyone in town. But what if Cassius is not the villain here? What if Cassius is the tragic hero? If Cassius knew that his twin brother Nathan was still alive, everything he has done over the past few months suddenly makes terrifying, heartbreaking sense. Listen to me, ladies. Cassius did not impersonate Nathan just for the thrill of it, or for some selfish, evil agenda. He was blackmailed. Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell must have held Nathan's life over Cassius's head? Can you even imagine the sickening threat? Put on your brother's face, go to Port Charles, do exactly what we say, or we put a bullet in Nathan's head. Cassius was forced into this twisted charade. He had to look Anna Devane in the eye, he had to look Felicia Scorpio in the eye, and he had to lie through his teeth, knowing that one wrong move, one slip of the tongue, would mean the immediate execution of his own flesh and blood. This completely flips the script on ruining the character arc of Cassius. He has been living in a waking nightmare. Every single day he spent in Port Charles, pretending to be the man everyone loved, he was carrying the agonizing weight of his brother's captivity. He could not tell his soul. He could not warn Dante Falconeri. He could not confide in Lulu Spencer, because he knew that Cullum and Sidwell had eyes and ears everywhere. If he breathed the word of the truth, Nathan would be a dead man. This is a heart-wrenching betrayal of Cassius by the universe. He sacrificed his own identity, his own soul, to keep his brother breathing. And we must address the absolute trauma that Lulu Spencer is going through right now. Lulu just discovered that the man in her bed, the man she opened her heart to, was Cassius Faison impersonating Nathan. She feels completely violated, disgusted, and betrayed. Dante Falconeri has been trying to comfort her, but her world is shattered. But imagine the emotional whiplash, the absolute mind-bending shock she will experience when she finds out why Cassius did it. When she realizes that Cassius wasn't playing a sick game, but was literally standing between Nathan and a bullet to the head, Lulu is going to be crushed by guilt for hating him. She will realize that Cassius is the only reason Nathan is still breathing. And oh my goodness, let us talk about little James West. My heart shatters into a million pieces when I think about what happened at the batting cages. We all thought Cassius was being a monster, trying to kidnap James and rip him away from his family. Cody Bell rushed in like a hero, intercepting them, risking his own life to save the boy. We all cheered for Cody, but what if we were completely wrong? What if Cassius was not kidnapping James to hurt him? What if Cassius was trying to bring James to his real father? Think about it. Cassius knew his time was running out. He knew his cover was blown, that Lulu had figured out the truth, that Anna and Felicia were closing in. He knew he had to flee Port Charles, but he could not leave without giving James the one thing the boy has always wanted, his real dad. Cassius was desperately trying to sneak James out of town to orchestrate a secret, life-changing reunion between a father and his son. He wanted James to look into the eyes of the real Nathan West before it was too late. And Cody Bell, bless his protective heart, completely misunderstood the situation and stopped it from happening. Cody thought he was saving James, but he actually delayed a father-son reunion. The guilt Cody will feel when the truth comes out will be absolutely crushing. The tragedy of it all is almost too much to bear. Cassius has allowed himself to be painted as the ultimate villain. He has let the entire town of Port Charles hate his guts. Lulu feels violated, Dante is furious, Felicia is disgusted, and Anna feels completely vindicated in her suspicions. Joe Fitzpatrick has an APB out on him, and Lucas Jones is in utter shock. Cassius has sacrificed his entire reputation. He has thrown himself to the wolves, accepting the hatred of everyone he has interacted with, all to protect the ultimate secret. He accepted being the bad guy so that Nathan could have a chance to survive. That is true sacrifice. Am I the only one who sees the tragic beauty in this? And what about Detective Joe Fitzpatrick? This newcomer at the PCPD has been working tirelessly, issuing an APB for Cassius Faison, thinking he is taking down a mastermind criminal. He has Lucas Jones, completely shocked and reeling from the deception, Joe thinks he is the hero of the day. But when Sidwell makes his grand declaration, Joe Fitzpatrick's entire investigation is going to be flipped upside down. The PCPD will realize they have been hunting the wrong man. They have been hunting the victim's brother instead of focusing all their resources on finding the dungeon where Jen Sidwell and Ross Cullum are keeping Nathan locked away. It is a complete mess, and the police department is going to have to scramble to fix their catastrophic mistakes. This is going to create the most agonizing moral dilemma in the history of General Hospital. The authorities will be forced to choose between letting a dangerous, psychotic criminal like Sidwell go free or condemning Nathan West to death. How can Dante make that call? How can Laura, as the mayor, authorize the release of a monster? But how can they possibly let Nathan die when they finally know he is alive? Sidwell holds all the cards. He will demand a helicopter, a jet, millions of dollars, and they will have to give it to him. They will have to swallow their pride and their duty to save one of their own. And what happens when Nathan finally comes home? Oh, ladies, prepare your tissues, because the tears will not stop flowing. Imagine the moment Felicia Scorpio sees her son-in-law, the man she thought she buried, walking through the doors of General Hospital. Imagine Anna Devane, who has been driving herself crazy trying to prove the imposter theory, finally wrapping her arms around the real Nathan. The emotional payoff would be astronomical, but the writers better not mess this up with outrageous writing. We deserve a proper, beautiful, uninterrupted reunion. Most importantly, imagine the reunion between Nathan and James. That sweet little boy has had his heart broken by Cody Bell explaining the twin swap. James thinks the man he bonded with was a liar who never loved him. But when the real Nathan kneels down in front of him with tears in his eyes and tells him, "I am your father, and I have fought for 8 years to get back to you," I am going to bawl my eyes out. It will be the most beautiful moment this show has produced in a decade. It will heal all the trauma that this storyline has inflicted on that innocent child. And when the dust settles, when Sidwell is either escaped or finally taken down, the entire town is going to have to look at Cassius Phazon and issue the biggest apology in television history. They will realize that everything Cassius did, every lie he told, every bridge he burned, was to keep Nathan alive. He wasn't a monster. He was a desperate brother doing the impossible. They will have to forgive him. They will have to honor him. I just pray that Cassius survives this ordeal to see his brother free. I swear to you, if the writers take this route, it will redeem this entire convoluted, frustrating storyline. But if they just let Sidwell escape without this massive reveal, or if they kill Cassius off without clearing his name, it will be the ultimate disrespect to the fans. We have invested our time, our tears, and our hearts into these characters. We demand justice for Nathan and Cassius. I cannot take much more of this suspense. Let me know in the comments if you agree with this theory, because I am literally shaking with anticipation. Until next time, stay strong, ladies, because Port Charles is about to explode.